Good afternoon and welcome to the Department of Speech Language Pathology ceremony in honor of the graduating class of 2021. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kate Franklin and I'm an associate professor and department chair here in the program. It's nice that many of you could be here today with us in person. It's been a long time. This gathering gives us an opportunity to recognize everyone responsible for mentoring our graduates over the past 2 years. And of course, it's an opportunity for us to congratulate the graduates as well. Mentoring is a topic discussed by David Brooks in his 2019 book entitled The Second Mountain, A Quest for a Moral Life. Mr. Brooks talks about mentors in the role of developing a commitment to vocation. A portion of what he writes about resonated with me when I reflected on what this department strives to help students achieve in pursuit of the vocation of speech language pathology. He says, the mentors who really lodge in the mind are the ones who were hard on us, or at least were hard on themselves and set the right example, not the ones who are easy on us. They're the ones who balance unstinting love with high standards and relentless demands on behalf of something they took seriously. We think we want ease and comfort, and of course we do from time to time, but there is something inside us that longs for some calling that requires dedication and sacrifice. I hope that on your journey as a speech language pathologist, you can look at us as your first professional mentors who taught you how to embrace the struggle, and that the struggle is the good part. Training students in a clinical profession like speech language pathology requires enormous resources. We as a department are fortunate to have support both within the university and beyond. I want to take this opportunity to thank our central administration here at New York Medical College under the leadership of Chancellor Edward Halperin. They view our profession as an integral part of the healthcare team. Thanks also to the Office of the Dean in the School of Health Sciences and Practice under the guidance of Dean Rob Amler and Vice Dean Ben Johnson. They're responsive to our many requests in support of activities undertaken for our students and community partners. Thanks too to our educational media office, Michael, and Juan for helping organize today's recognition. And a special thanks to my colleagues in the department who create a positive work environment that is dynamic and collegial. Please stand and be recognized when your name is called. Lauren Alter, Jessie Antipara, Kim Benedon, Elizabeth Carrion, Vikas Grover, Kathleen Kaiser, Barbara Leader, Monica Mchenry, Luis Raquelme, Lisa Villela. We are a pretty diverse group of individuals, and we view that as our strength. Thank you, Team SLP, for all that you do. Family and friends, thank you for sharing your loved ones with us over the past 5 semesters. You've helped shepherd this group through a rigorous and demanding graduate program during an unprecedented time in our world. Graduates, in a few minutes, you will hear from Dr. Mchenry, who will be giving this year's faculty address to you. I want to close by extending my congratulations to the 20th graduating class of the Department of Speech Language Pathology at New York Medical College. You joined the ranks of over 435 graduates before you, impacting the lives of individuals across the lifespan with complex communication and swallowing disorders. Congratulations to you all.
Hello, welcome to the Speech Language Pathology program at New York Medical College's Hooding and Recognition Ceremony. My name is Edward Halperin. I am the Chancellor and Chief Executive Officer of New York Medical College. There is, I think, a standard speech that people with jobs like mine make on occasions like this. We say things like, "You're wonderful, the program's wonderful, the college is wonderful, go forth and do wonderful things, everything's wonderful." That would be the standard speech, but this is really not a time or era for standard speeches. The world seems turned upside down by the pandemic. Your education was disrupted by us dealing with a massive infectious disease strain on the American health system. And you are going forth to practice in the midst of a pandemic, which is far from over. I would therefore like to offer you some thoughts on this occasion about how you might approach the work ahead of you. You have two basic choices. The distinction was parsed by Robert Maynard Hutchings, who was the president of the University of Chicago in the 1920s and 1930s. He said, "You can think of life and your work in life either as a means to an end or as an end in itself. If you think about it as an end in itself, then what will interest you is how much money you'll make, what kind of house you might buy or apartment you might rent, what kind of automobile you will acquire, what kind of clothes you can wear, and where you get to go on vacation, and how much praise people will or won't heap on you, and how much prestige you'll have in society." That's work as an end in itself. If, however, you think about your work ahead of you as a means, then you start thinking about what your work as a speech language pathologist means for the really big questions. What is justice? What is truth? What is a life well lived? Why were you here on this earth? How should you make the most of it? What can you give back to others? How can you make the world a bit of a better place? I urge you to think, therefore, about your work as a means, not as an end, and to think about your work in what the famous 19th century nurse Florence Nightingale wrote about being enthusiastic about your work. But she wasn't using the word enthusiasm the way we use it now. She was taking it from the original Greek enthusiasmos, to be possessed or consumed by a god or gods within. That's where the root comes, theos, same as theology, God within, N-E-N, God within. Florence Nightingale was saying that if you go into the health professions, you should seize upon your work as if possessed by a God within you, viewing your work as an attempt to make your work in healthcare as close to holy as one can make things in our secular lives. And that is, I believe, the best way to tackle what is ahead of you, becoming practicing speech language pathologists in the midst of this pandemic. It is to seize upon your work as if possessed by God or gods within, and to try to make this world a better place, one patient interaction at a time, because the growing good of the world, the reason the world is not so ill as it might be, as George Eliot wrote at the end of Middlemarch, is by these small individual acts of people who tried to make the world a better place one step at a time. Congratulations on your hooding ceremony. Congratulations to those who are receiving awards. And I urge you to go forth in the world as new speech language pathologists, with that enthusiasm which was recommended to us by Florence Nightingale. Enjoy the program today. Thanks for listening.
Hello, everyone, and greetings on this very special occasion. I'm Dr. Robert Amler, your dean. I can't tell you what a privilege and what a thrill it is for me to spend this moment with you on this very special occasion, just a short time before you get your diplomas and go off to your noble profession. Let me also thank profusely Dr. Kate Franklin, our department chair, and her wonderful faculty for bringing all of you and all of us to this very happy moment. Please take a minute as well to think about your families, your friends and loved ones who've helped you get to this special moment with the support I know that they have given you over a very difficult 2 years, especially the last year. They certainly deserve good hugs when those hugs are safe, which may be now or certainly very, very soon. I do want to share with you one simple thought as you go forward into a wonderful profession of speech-language pathology. Remember that many people you encounter will forget what you say. They may forget exactly what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel when you said it and did it. So always remember to bring a little extra piece of humanity that you possess with you when you do these encounters with your clients, your patients, their families, and even with your colleagues. Well, we look forward to welcoming you as colleagues ourselves, as our alumni, as our newest alumni, and we certainly hope that you will come back often and tell us what you've done and where you are so that we can enjoy the rewards of your success and revel in how well you've done in the future. Congratulations, best of luck, and we wish you everything best going forward. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Barbara Leader to come up.
It is my great pleasure to speak about the Board of Directors of the National Student Speech Language Hearing Association. The NISLA group really did more this year than we have seen in any past year. I want to thank you all for taking the time to foster cohesion in your class in this difficult year with innovation in programs, altruism, and fun. Hard work and perseverance really paid off, as it will continue to do so throughout your careers. So I'd like to call each person up who is here. Milkika, thank you for everything you did. I put you through your paces a little bit some days, but
so much.
you did a great job.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Pauline, right after her, Maria Vitella. She's not here. Okay. Rosalia, thank you for all your hard work. And Isabel. Thank you. Well done. Right.
So the class had given a gift to you guys for all of your mentorship and hard work and support for us during this difficult year. So we have a gift for you all the faculty. It's right here. But I'll give it to you.
Open it now.
Yes, sure.
All right, well, let's do it.
Oh, yes. So these are just some watercolor paintings of the different systems that we work with as speech language pathologists. And it kind of combines also the artistic work that we also do with everyone. So combination of the science and the art that we do. Oh, get the last one. And bring some joy to the office as well. Yeah,
Fantastic.
I'm glad you like them. This is from everyone.
Thank you all very much. This is wonderful. We'll find a very special place to put these. Thank you so much. I'd like to introduce Dr. Monica Mchenry, who is here to do our faculty address.
The request from AV to take our masks off, which is a relief because now my glasses won't fog up. I was going to say that we now have a new cue for our clients who need to over-articulate, that is, speak as though you're talking through a mask. So I have had the privilege of addressing our graduates for the past couple of years, and in doing so, I do like to use acoustic analogies. As you can imagine, the acoustics of the past year are quite different than in previous ones. And strangely enough, there were some good acoustic highlights. People in the city heard lots more birds. Marine biologists heard whales that were previously drowned out by commercial boat traffic. But there's certainly a number of differences from recent years that impacted your journey through our graduate program, which I picture as a sine wave. You know there'll be some ups and downs, but you can handle the peaks and valleys because you're all good students. Now, as you recall, those peaks and valleys represent areas of compression and rarefaction. And I dare say this past year, the areas of compression have felt downright claustrophobic. And the areas of rarefaction, where air molecules are kind of free to bip around wherever they want in space, have been exceedingly rare. The sine wave was also perturbed. Sudden abrupt variations in frequency and amplitude as our lives changed. First, don't bother with masks, but wipe down surfaces. Then wear a mask to protect others. Then wear a mask to protect yourself, but don't worry about the surfaces. And if you're a trendsetter at Biden's inauguration, wear two until you get vaccinated. I do believe, however, that the acoustic signature most representative of the pandemic is that of two sine waves 180 degrees out of phase with each other. Certainly the world felt out of phase with itself. And these waveforms generate silence. The silence of quarantine, the silence of isolation, of not being able to be with friends and family, and the most distressing silence of all, that of the void left by loved ones we have lost. Others may have experienced the exact opposite of silence, and that's noise, an unpredictable cacophony of many sine waves of different amplitudes and frequencies. Maybe you were among the nearly 50% of young adults who returned home to live with your parents. And while we totally and unequivocally appreciate parental support, it's still not easy. Living under house rules again, maybe sharing a room with a sibling, carving out space in the basement for an office, taking classes from your kitchen table. And if you're lucky enough to have a door, hoping that someone read the sign on it that said, "I'm in class, please leave me alone." But you made it through. The light at the end of the tunnel was not an oncoming train. And you know that given the firm foundation you have, you'll be successful in whatever path you choose from here. And while it may take a while for the world to return to rainbows and unicorns and puppies, it will return to some semblance of harmony. And I predict 20 or 30 years from now, a common question will be, what did you do during the pandemic? Some people will say, OMG, I like literally spent every day, all day playing video games. D&D Master, crushed, Candy Crush. You will say, I got my master's degree in speech language pathology, and I've been helping people improve the quality of their lives ever since. Congratulations.
Thank you, Monica. It's wonderful. We're now going to proceed to the hooding ceremony. So Professor Kaiser and Professor Leader, if you two will come up. Professor Villela, Professor Alter, you would come up. All right, so we're going row by row. We're going to engage in social distancing, right? So you guys are going to first row stand. You're going to come this way. All right. And I'm passing the mic to you guys.
Christina Barch. Milkika Brechak. Madison Bronstein. Christine Brosnan. Oh, I'm sorry. Sky Dinko. Amanda Dolan. Sarah Brooks. Isabella Calagaro. Jordan Dunlop. Gabriela Evangelista. Emily Faso. Audra Green. Isabel Hurabel. Xiao Jiang. Danielle Kim. Christine Loin. Margaret McHugh. Christina Meyerjack. Thomas Nelson. Shannon Riley. Samantha Rosenthal. Jessica Schmidt. Pauline Soriano. Nicole Tacariello. Summer Tryman. Rosalia Faglica. Alexa Wallstrom. Christine Valderrama. Maria Vidiello.
Before we do our speech language pathology pledge, I would like to introduce the newest inductees into the Alpha Eta Honor Society for Allied Health students. And we are chapter 83 of this organization. So when you are called, if you could just stand up and be recognized. Melkika, Amanda, Emily, Jessica Schmidt, Nicole, and Pauline. We're also pleased to induct a faculty member into the society this year, Dr. Grover. I'd like to invite Dr. Raquelme to the stage. You all have a copy of the pledge. Speech language pathology class of 2021, please rise.
Please raise your right hand and recite with me. As I enter the profession of speech language pathology, I respectfully and willingly pledge the following. I will commit myself to the ethical, responsible, and diligent practice of speech language pathology. I will respect and uphold the laws and regulations that govern my profession, adhere to its ethical principles, and accept the profession's self-imposed standards. I will faithfully honor the inherent dignity of all and treat those who depend on my help with respect, consideration, and appreciation for our diversities. I will hold paramount the welfare of persons I serve, as well as those who are participants in research and scholarly activities. I will always protect the rights and confidentiality of those who seek my help and act only for their benefit. I will continually strive to learn, further my professional competence, accurately share my knowledge with those who seek it, and advocate for the unmet communication and swallowing needs of the public. I will always conduct myself with dignity, maintain collaborative and harmonious interprofessional relationships, and place service to humankind before personal or material gain. With honor and pride, I commit myself to the profession of speech-language pathology. Congratulations.
We're so happy that you all could be here with us today. We're very proud of you and wish you well in your journey as speech language pathologists. Congratulations, everyone. That's it.